They're going by way when you're ready.
Go ahead, Jeff. Okay. Jewell, you had just 2 points in the first half, finished the game with 20. What kind of was your mindset going into the second half, and what changes did you see out on the court?
I would say aggressive. I feel like I could get to the lane, kind of get my mid range. I think sometimes I know I'm a pretty good 3-point shooter and a scorer in general, but the mid range is like my bread and butter. So I feel like some teams think I'm nervous in that area, but I actually like it a lot. So kind of took advantage of that. But allowed myself to just see what they were giving me, but also me getting downhill allowed me to find my bigs, make other plays for everyone else. And so that was kind of got me going, just seeing that and being able to pick apart the defense in that category. And then shots started to fall.
And then going right off of that, in the second half, you guys outscored them 53-32. Third period, you start on a 16-3 run. What were the adjustments as a team you guys made? And specifically during that opening run, what did you see?
Just staying aggressive, honestly. I think one of the timeouts I came in and just told everyone just play basketball. Like stop overthinking, stop trying to figure out what they're doing. At the end of the day, we've been playing basketball since we were little. Like just go back to the basics. And I think that kind of calmed all of us down. And then we took a breath and came out in the third quarter and realized what we were able to see. We took a beat. I got some layups to go, a couple and ones, momentum kind of, shifted. Crowd was getting louder. We kind of rode that wave for a bit.
And then in the first period, things started off really slow. You guys were 1 of 15 to start the game. Is there anything Chicago does defensively that they do really well?
They're definitely aggressive on defense, denying, definitely physical. Obviously, they the rebounds and putbacks, things like that. But for us, they were all good shots. We didn't feel like we were taking bad shots. They were just longer in and out, things like that. So for us, we knew the shots were going to drop, but we had to make sure that we were making the same effort on defense. Just keep at it, and we felt that we got to a good defensive rhythm, and things started to shift a little bit.
Nneka, for you, you had 24 and 13. I feel like you really dominated this game. What does that do for your mindset?
I think it definitely helps me realize not just like what I'm capable of, but what my teammates encouraged me to be capable of. Throughout the game, I was hearing so much from Jewell and my teammates about like, hey, let's step this up a level. And I think there are times kind of like when you get thinking too much that it's not like you forget to play the game, but you're kind of overconsumed with like schemes and stops and trying to make sure that you're running things and executing things. And there was a particular timeout that Jewell was basically like, hey, we just got to hoop. Like, that's really what it is. At the end of the day, they're hooping. We got to hoop. We got to respond. We got to step it up a level. And that's really helpful in those kind of grind out moments to realize. And then, of course, have that manifest in how you play.
For either of you, last one. Kennedy Carter scored 33 last game, was held at 21, but she was a lot less efficient. What were the adjustments that you guys made? What did you like from your defense?
I think we're just like crowding the space. I think we're just a little bit more aware. We understand how versatile of a scorer she is, and I think we were just a little bit more aggressive from the start. And not necessarily aggressive like pressure wise, but aggressive with spacing, closing the gaps a little bit, being a little bit more handsy, just making ourselves look big. And then Jordan does a great job and starts that off. And it's just a group effort with anyone. It's hard to stop a lot of good scores in this league by yourself, and we know that. So it's a team effort, and I think as a team we were very aware of all of them, all the shooters in our schemes.
This is for either one of you. Tonight, Skylar passed 2 milestones, 15th on the all-time assist list and 34th player in WNBA history to eclipse 45,000 points or more. Just describe what she means to this team and just on the game tonight.
She's the general. She's the general, and I guess like the coach's nickname for her is Debo. She comes out here and I don't know if you guys know that, but yeah, it is a Friday Earth. Thank you. I was gonna say who knew,
Right?
But she's really like the muscle of the team, and like both in like the muscle and also like the brain as a muscle. Like she really comes out here and she knows how to put us in different things. And we support her by executing what she puts us in, but I think that we're starting to also support getting her going as well, you know, because that's a huge asset to have, especially as someone who plays point guard in this league. It's very rare that you have a PG that can organize people and also, you know, get hers as well. And so I think, I mean, we didn't even mention that in the locker room. Those are two milestones that should have been mentioned.
Yeah.
It's no surprise. I'm just really happy to be on this team when she achieved those two milestones.
And then last one, Nneka, for you. In a recent interview, I saw that you said you hear that people sometimes forget that you're still here and you can still play. And obviously tonight, adding on to the list of another double-double. How'd you just feel tonight, and just what keeps you going?
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of like in the context of that conversation, it's not like that people like forget that I can play. I think that sometimes I feel like people take it for granted at times. I feel like since I've been in college, I've always kind of been that player that's like been not necessarily overlooked, but just kind of like, oh, she's always going to do the right thing. She's not going to ruffle feathers. And as a result, certain things in my career have happened because of that. And I'm not really here to remind people that I can play. I'm just here to maybe remind myself a little bit, and to be able to play with great players like Jewell and Sky, Ezzy, and everyone else on this team. I want to match their fly, and I also want to have a legacy of contagion. You know, at the end of the day, we're out here to win. You know, I wouldn't have my platform without what I do on the court. And I'm not trying to be boxed in as someone who's here to make the league better and not be able to reap the benefits of that. So I'm here to do my job. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to be better. I'm here to be great. And I can also do all of that while advocating for other people.
Got time for a few on Zoom. Michael Vopel, go ahead, and then Christian, you'll be right after that.
Yeah, thank you. Nneka and Jewell, I wonder if you guys could answer this. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Hold on, Michael. It's not super loud.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me okay?
No, it's not you. It's the speaker. Hold on.
Maybe put the mic on.
Yeah, maybe we can put the mic up to the speaker. Go
ahead, Mike.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay, there we go.
Nneka, I wonder if both you and Jewell could answer this. Just watching you guys, the chemistry, just the things that I see watching you guys, I've felt like it's come together, especially the last couple weeks. I wonder if, from both of your perspectives, how you see that happening and how it's happened.
I think a lot of it's just talking and communicating, whether it's mid-play, after timeouts, practice, things we see on the fly. It's really just saying, Nneka, what do you see? Or, you know, I saw this, let's try this. I mean, to me, I told her, like, my favorite play was, hey, Nneka, I think we have you on the double dive. And she's like, okay, next possession. She runs down, seals it. We pass to Sammy, she scores. I'm like, perfect. Like, you know, it's like, just like that. Like, you literally just talk and communicate. But honestly, with that being said, I think it's also time. Like, we just needed some time to, like, see, you know, I've never played with players like them before. So it's new for me, too. So just really talking and time, film, and then just playing basketball.
Yeah, I mean, basically what Jewell said, especially putting, you know, an exclamation point on time together. You know, I really do feel like that's really important, and just kind of knowing each other as people, knowing each other as players, knowing our dynamics as pieces of a team, knowing our dynamics, also individually with our coach. You know, I think that it's also very important for us to understand those types of relationships, for us to be able to develop that chemistry. You know, I think as people on the outside and as fans like to herald, it's like, okay, you see this roster on on a piece of paper and you think automatically it's about to be popping, about to be on and popping. And there's an element of that we also experience. But there's also going to be those synapses that you kind of have to get accustomed to. And that does take time. That does take adversity and being able to go through that on a daily basis while also building towards, you know, the greater goal, I think is really important. And it's a part of the discipline that kind of creates that connectivity.
Great. I really appreciate the answer from both of you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Michael. Christian, and then we'll take another couple questions here in the room.
Hey, Nneka and Joel, this is for both of you. Earlier in the season, the team, really everyone said, we're not here really to win the championship. We're here to compete for it. And it feels like on so many occasions throughout these games, especially today, there's so many different runs. There was a 13-2 run, a 10-0 run, another 16-2 run, I believe. And a lot of these things are starting by the defense feeding into the offense. Coach has said numerous times throughout this season she's not worried about, the offense. She's more worried about the defense. And games like this kind of prove that. I'm just wondering, like, as far as the team chemistry and where it is now, how does it feel to know that it's come so far such a short time yet? And I'm sure you think that there's still some more to be done, right?
Feels good to me, you know. I think a few games ago, someone asked if we were like in our groove, and I was like, I'm not really trying to like find a groove. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm more interested in the daily discipline and the building blocks of being better each time. At the end of the season, there's going to be no games left to play, but you want to build each time, even knowing if like you play to the very last. Yeah, like I mean that's kind of how I feel about our everyday, really.
Yeah, for sure. Feel like 1%.
You got time for a couple.
one-
Annie, and then Elise will wrap us up.
Nneka, this one's for you.
Mm-hmm.
Today, Angel made history with the 13th consecutive double-double. I'm just curious. I mean, obviously, you know how tough these front courts are in the WNBA. What stands out to you about her knack for going after rebounds and her ability to put these 13 games together?
She's fearless. One thing about her is that she has an unwavering confidence. She's fearless. She's relentless, when it comes to how she plays. You can teach technique. You can talk about how certain things look and what people should expect when it comes to working on certain skills. But that's not ever, at the end of the day, you can have a skillful person, but if they're not relentless each time, there's only so far that skill can take you. And so it's clear that she has longevity in this league, given how she plays. I think that's something that no one can take away from her. Mm-hmm.
Elise, and then we'll wrap up with Alberta.
I was going to ask for both of you. You've been here so long now, 10 years, and here comes Nneka, who's MVP of the league and all this stuff. You finally, I feel like with this homestand, had a chance to maybe take a breath. Did you tell her to get out in Seattle and do something, or basketball? Like, are you telling me what to do in the city to enjoy it? And have you like actually had a chance to take a breath and maybe enjoy something outside of the court?
I mean, we finally got some good weather.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, everybody keeps talking about how like, oh
I
my
know,
gosh, the
it's-
sun is out.
I know it has not been helping our. I mean, we're not liars. It just came a little later in the summer.
You're tripping.
Yeah,
I come from hurricane weather, like that's cozy stuff.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you're right.
Like it's not, and during the break, I'm gonna have some time. I'll get a bucket list from her,
Facts.
and I'll probably send her pictures
Yeah.
while you in Paris doing your thing.
Yeah, and we'll swap.
Yeah,
A daily journal.
and see what I gotta do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really like there's rooftops, there's okay beach, yada yada. You know.
Okay, now.
Yeah, yeah.
The water's
I
good.
know. I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, she got me.
Yeah. Don't worry.
And then Alberta to wrap us up.
Congrats on the win. The season has been very unpredictable in so many ways. When there are talks when the season is about to start, who's going to win this, who's going to win that. The truth is that teams that were on the top of power rankings have lost more games than people expected, and other teams have won more than expected. Do you think that talks to the unpredictability of the season, and what does that say about the level of play in the W and the level of players?
I mean, I think it shows an evolution of the game. I've played in many seasons, and there's been seasons like this where anybody could beat anybody, I think given the recent history, there's been and continue to be powerhouses in this league. But I think this season, like we were just talking about this the other day, this is just one of those seasons where anybody can beat anyone on any night. I've been a part of that, maybe when there were less eyes and less accessibility and visibility on the league. So it's not particularly surprising for me, but it definitely makes for the best seasons.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely makes you better. I think from an individual and a collective standpoint, it makes things interesting, and I'm just really happy to have more eyes on it, for people who are fans of it, for us we're playing every night. It holds people accountable and it makes for great plays, makes for great historical seasons to remember. And I think it's a reason why everyone should be watching.
Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. Your time.
Thank you.
Off coaching here in just a minute.
I like your blazer. It's nice.
Jeff, fire away.
Yeah, kind of a two-parter, coach. You start the game 1 of 15 from the floor. What makes Chicago a good defensive team? And then part two of that, you outscore them by 21 points in the second half, opened up the third quarter on a 16-3 run. What did you like about the second half adjustments?
I think Chicago has a lot of versatility defensively. Mabry knows how to top block and be physical. Allen has been in this league for a minute, so she knows, play calls and pressuring the basketball. And then, the two young posts, they're very physical. They come from defensive-minded college systems. So their ability to, blow up ball screens or, just be big and at the nail and have a presence. I think they have length. I think they're physical, and they play defense with some aggressiveness and physicality that you have to play with in this league. What's the second part of your question?
Your second half, you outscored them by 21, and just
Yeah.
the adjustments that you liked in the second half.
I thought that I did like the looks that we were getting in the first half. There are points in the game where we have to be sharper with the basketball, like the live ball turnovers, the end of quarter situations. In the second half, I thought we were aggressive to get into the paint. I thought getting to the free throw line was huge for us, and just having some variety in our ball screens, attacking their bigs, finding single side tags, and just reading the game.
Jewell had 2 points in the first half, finished with 20. What did you see out of her? And then also Nneka had the double-double of 24 and 13.
Yeah, we started the third quarter just trying to get her a little bit of isolation closer to the basket. And her aggressive level picked up once she got, 2 feet in and got some rhythm to her, got to her kill spots and made some really good reads. Playing in transition helps with that as well. So, defenses aren't as set. Sorry, the second part. You're giving me two parters.
Yeah. Trying to make some.
Yeah.
Nneka's performance, I felt, she was very good.
I thought she was very solid. There are a lot of 50-50 balls, hustle plays, getting on the ground. Rebounding was tremendous. Those athletes that she has to defend and go against, it's a tall task to box them out and jump as high as they are jumping, but she's strong, she's physical. A lot of traps that she was in, she was getting deflections, but also pressuring the basketball defensively. It really, really sparked what we did. And then when you get Nneka in space, she's an efficient finisher. So our ball screen reads and how we attack that, she was a big culprit of that.
Kennedy Carter had 33 2 days ago,
Yeah.
held to 21 today, but also much less efficient. What did you like about your defensive changes?
I thought that we were very mindful of being in to be out. I thought that we were too spread out the first time that we played. I thought that Jordan was in her space. An athlete like that who can score at a high clip, you just want to make it difficult. And I thought that Jordan did a better job of just even staying in a stance, keeping her in front, but also it was a team effort. So our awareness to pack the paint a little bit more, our awareness to, be in transition and understand that our one-on-one defense with her was important, but our help side was even more important.
Thank you for the compliment.
You're welcome.
I didn't hear it at
Yes,
first.
okay.
Angels set a new WNBA record for 13 consecutive
That's awesome.
double-doubles. And I'm curious in these back-to-back games, but y'all also played this guy earlier this season. What stands out to you about her ability to go after these rebounds and put together these 13 games with
Yeah.
ease, it seems like?
Yeah, that's amazing. Congratulations to her and what she's been doing. Her first year in the league is obviously legendary. Not a lot of athletes have done that. And She has an innate ability to just go rebound the basketball. She has like a knack for knowing where the ball is going to go, but also a lot of what rebounding is heart and desire and pursuit. She's very physical. She doesn't back down with any matchup that she's had, and she knows that she's good at rebounding. And so she makes a point to assert herself, whether it's offense or defensive rebounding, and she's finding ways to be an impactful player and playing within herself. The other day she hits those threes and kind of talks a little bit of trash, but I like that because she's a competitor, and she's getting better game by game.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Skylar's role in that last quarter and her big run to bring the Storm to solidify the win?
Yeah, I mean, she's, the head of our snake as relates to our defensive presence and intensity. She's on the ball a lot. She's taken a lot of point guard coverages, but also, she's, one of the others that had to guard Kennedy when Jordan was not on her. And, her passion to play the game gives us a lot of energy on both sides of the court. She hit that big three. She made a lot of really big plays, especially in transition, to have her going downhill. And, the last part of that is just the pick and roll. She's an elite pick and roll playmaker. And so whether it's her getting a bucket or finding her teammates, she reads the game well. And thought that she had a lot of great moments for us. And, her competitive nature, her dog, like all of those things, it gives us a lot of confidence.
We talked about rebound just a few minutes ago. Last game, the Storm had 27 rebounds. Today you had 36. What changed? What made it better this game?
Part of that, Camilla only played 20 minutes. She was out a little bit more. I thought that, taking a look at film, we saw moments of the game where we were a little bit more spread out. Our guards, even though Nneka and Ezzy kind of cleaned up those boards, I thought, it's imperative that was that 8, no, 3. Sky got 3, Joe got 2, Jordan got 4. I just thought that there was more of an effort to stay in the paint and not leak out, but a majority of that was just a desire for from Ezzy and Nneka to go pursue those boards, and I think that they're very sharp and aware that we needed to limit Chicago to one shot, and I thought that we did a better job, especially in the second half.
Let's take a question on Zoom from Christian Brasswell. Christian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, throughout these different games, especially earlier in the season, some games didn't really go the team's way. You and a lot of other players also said that you're not really here to win a championship. You're here to fight for a championship, compete for one. During these runs, and especially in this game, there was a 10-2 run, I believe a 16-2 run. Do you see that kind of competitive fervor for your team in these moments? Because they kind of engineered the game, especially from a defensive standpoint, feed into the offense.
Yes, we're a very competitive group. Our vision is very clear. From day one, we talked about competing for a championship, but also what that entails, being disciplined, being competitive. And I think we're showcasing that, this is, we're halfway through the season, and though we're a new team and growing together, we're finding moments to capitalize in the game. These are reps that this group really, really needs, especially when we're trying to find ways to get better on the court, but also win games. And Chicago's record isn't indicative of the type of team they are. It is very difficult to come by wins in this league. And, our team understands that, and, not taking our competition for granted, but also rallying together in those runs and the timeouts, the talking, the connectivity. These are all moments that we're growing in, and it's showing up on the court.
And then we'll wrap up with Jeff.
Coach, I realize you had a shorter rotation of just 7 players in this game. Can you kind of just talk about that?
Yeah, I thought that our bigs were rolling. I thought that we had good energy and good pace about us. I thought that, that unit that was on the floor, had some good chemistry and cadence to what they're doing. I thought Sammy came in and gave us some great minutes, and as did Sadie's, but sometimes it's about winning that ball game and keeping them in that pocket. And I thought, it's always a communication aspect. I took Ezzy out kind of late in that fourth quarter, and she communicated that she just needed a break. And that's what it is trust, but also awareness of our players to know that, trying to get some wins. Yeah.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Sorry,
Coach.
Yeah, of course.